Hi guys, thank you so much for staying tuned to my channel. My name is Tolulope Olasupo and I'm your humble host on this channel. I want to say a very big thank you to everyone who has continued to join us on this channel. And if you're joining us for the first time, I want to say thank you to you as well. So today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you something that has really been good in my sales journey. And that was how I made my first $3,000 as a salesperson. If you're liking the sound of this, kindly hit the subscribe button and turn on your notification bell so that you can get so many useful sales tips from us. So one of the things that I realized as a salesperson is the fact that your mindset really matters for you to be able to go far in your sales pursuit or as a business person. If you believe that you can, you actually will be able to do it. So I started off as a biomedical scientist working in the hospital and diagnostic center. And I later realized that I wanted to pursue something else, and that was sales. But I didn't want to go into sales initially. I wanted to do something like product specialist or an application specialist in a sales company. At my first initial sales company where I worked, I started off as a product specialist. And what that meant was that I was detailing products to salespeople and helping them to actually close deals. But after a while, I was moved into the sales department. And I initially thought to myself, do I really want to do this? Do I really want to go for this? Am I capable of doing this? Because I felt that sales was a fast-paced occupation and there was a lot of pressure and I didn't want to get myself into it. But at the end of the day, I had to face the challenge. So I was moved into a different territory from where I was actually living before. And that was a new one for me as well. So one of the things that I did when I got into that place was that I had to actually change my mindset. And in changing my mindset, I had to speak to people who were already succeeding in sales and ask them how they were doing it and what they were actually doing that was making them to do well. So these were some of the things that helped me to actually boost my confidence at the initial. The second thing I did was to actually speak to my predecessor. And what did I do? I had to ask him who were the main customers in this territory, who are the people that he feels that I need to focus my attention in so that I can continue to generate more sales. And that was one of the things that I needed to actually know so that I know what to do to hit the ground running. The third thing that I did was to come up with a plan initially on how to actually engage, because it's actually important for you to actually succeed in any sales pursuit or as a business owner. So I had to engage all the sales process that I learned. In engaging the sales processes that I initially learned, I started by prospecting and cold calling. So I had to go online to research the list of hospitals and medical diagnostic centers that were in the area that was actually given. And I realized that there were a lot of them and some of them actually had their contacts online. So I started taking the list and the names of those hospitals and I started calling them. So fortunately for me, one of the hospitals that I called was one of the hospitals that was close to where I was actually staying. It was a small sized hospital and so they were able to manage themselves and the medical director was fully involved. So as I called the hospital and the medical director picked the call, I introduced myself and I told her what I was into and what we were doing as a business and how we could actually help them to actually scale up and actually improve their services. So fortunately for me at that time, she was actually looking to buy a new ultrasound machine. And I told her that we were actually selling and we could actually help her with it. So I told her that for us to actually progress in the conversation, it would be nice for me to come and see her in person. And we were able to schedule a call. The good thing about that was that I wanted an opportunity to be able to present the product features and benefits and actually understand her needs. So I booked the appointment with her and I went to see her. So after engaging in the conversation, understanding her needs and presenting the products to her, I discovered that we had some solutions that could actually match what she was thinking. And after that, we initially then went into discussion about the price. So after trying to engage on the price, we were not able to come into any agreement because she was actually thinking about something far less than what we were proposing because she was comparing our price with a fairly used product. So we couldn't actually seal that deal at that time. So one of the things that I had to do was that I started actually uncovering other things that we could actually do for her. So by asking her about some of the other things we were doing in the hospital and what was our plan. So I then figured out that there were other problems that we could actually solve in the hospital. And I had to pitch some solutions to her. So fortunately for me, there was one of the solutions that we actually had that I felt was going to be really useful for her at that time. So I told her about how that equipment could actually help them to scale up by improving their efficiency and saving time and at the end of the day also helping them to generate more revenue. She was really interested in that conversation and I actually amplified it and continued to press on it. So we came onto an agreement and she said she was willing to buy it. That was a good one for me. So we started negotiating and then we couldn't actually agree at that time as well because she wanted to pay outright and she wanted the price to actually come down far less than what we were actually proposing. So I told her that I was going to get back to her. So fortunately for me, my manager was actually visiting at that time. I told my manager about it. So my manager agreed to come with me to the customer place. So my manager came with me to the customer place and they were able to have that conversation. And that was how I was able to close my first sale of $3,000. So one of the things that I learned about all this was that all the sales processes that I actually engaged were very, very important. The act of prospecting, cold calling, product presentation, and actually also negotiation and also handling objection. These were things that actually played out in everything that I did, and I saw how it actually helped me to close that sale. So if you are here to engage sales processes like prospecting, cold calling, product presentation, handling objection, negotiation, these are things that you can begin to look at and actually generate more sales for your business and actually improve revenue in the company where you currently work, either as a salesperson as well. So if this video has been useful to you and you feel that this is also going to be relevant to somebody else, you can share this link with them. And also, if you have any suggestion on how we can continue to improve on this channel, you can also share with us. Thank you so much for staying tuned to this video. See you next time.